If you watch this video till the end, then no one can stop you from learning English like a native American speaker. Make sure to follow this YouTube channel and watch every latest video till the end. Then just wait, you'll be amazed. One day, you'll become an expert in English. You nod along, laugh at the jokes, and comprehend what they are saying if you are watching an English language video. You are able to follow the conversation in meetings and even in class. However, nothing comes out when someone turns to face you and asks a question. Your mouth will not join in, even if your brain knows what you want to say. One of the most annoying aspects about learning English is this. You believe that because I can listen and comprehend everything, why am I unable to speak? You are not by yourself. Many people have this experience. The listening portion is proceeding quite well. However, there is this awkward pause when speaking. And other times, complete quiet. We will determine the reason for that gap in this video. Why you have trouble speaking even when you can listen. I will show you what you can do about it, which is more essential. Genuine methods that do not call for flawless grammar, a speaking partner, or a textbook. Simple adjustments that you may implement right now to increase your fluency and confidence. Let us begin by addressing a major misconception on this issue. Stop now if you have ever blamed your poor speech on yourself. This has nothing to do with intelligence. It has nothing to do with skill or memory. Nothing is missing from your life. In actuality, your brain has been conditioned to do just one thing. Recognizing. Listening. And you are most likely skilled at it. But talking? That is a whole different skill. When you listen, different parts of your brain are used than when you speak. You are not necessarily prepared to answer someone in your own words just because you understand what they have said. It is similar to dance. You could spend all day watching dancing movies, learning every move, and even memorizing the choreography. However, that does not imply that you can get up and perform it flawlessly the first time. To improve, you must genuinely move your body. The same is true when speaking. You may train your ears by watching videos and listening to podcasts. But your tongue, your lips, the speaking response in your brain? Until you use it, it remains untrained. We must therefore cease regarding speaking as a skill that may be acquired miraculously at some point. It is likely that you have invested a lot of time in reading, watching, listening, and input. And that is fantastic. It speeds up your comprehension of English. Here's the issue, though. Comprehending is a passive process. Speaking is a dynamic process. Additionally, your brain handles them rather differently. You do not need to construct sentences while you are simply listening. You do not need to consider pronunciation or word order. Your mind is at ease. However, it must do more when it comes time to talk. It must swiftly find the appropriate word, construct the sentence, move your mouth correctly, and more. Naturally, you will freeze if you have not mastered that technique. The majority of students get trapped here. The input side has been trained, but the output side has not. For this reason, you could be able to follow an English language movie without becoming anxious, yet find it difficult to order coffee. It is not about your level of English proficiency. How often you have used it aloud is what matters. It is physical to speak. Training a muscle is analogous to this. It does not get stronger if you do not use it. So, how is this skill actually trained? Let us discuss why your true issue is not knowing the words. This is one of the most common misconceptions about learning a language. Before I can talk, I simply need to learn more words. Not at all. You already know plenty. You can start talking if you can follow an English-speaking conversation or comprehend this video. Vocabulary is not the true issue. It is that when you need words, they do not come quickly enough. Everything you know vanishes in an instant as your brain freezes and you pause. It is not that you are ignorant. The reason for this is that you have not practiced saying those words rapidly. Your brain resembles a bookshelf. You have not practiced quickly picking up the correct book, even though they are there. Speaking trains you for that. Easy warm-ups are the first step in that process. Describe what you notice aloud as you look about your room. Coffee on the table, windows open, blue chair. No need for flawless grammar or pressure. Simply state what you observe. It facilitates the development of the link between your mouth and ideas. Easy yet effective. However, just because you can describe something does not mean you understand it. Let me discuss the common mistake made by students. Like other students, you most likely listen to English for hours on end. You listen to podcasts, watch YouTube videos, and perhaps even read books. It seems like advancement. It is, but not the kind that facilitates speech. Thinking that input is sufficient is a pitfall. That speaking English will come naturally to you if you hear it enough. However, that is not how it operates. Someone I know spent years watching English language films. He knew nearly everything. But because he had never practiced speaking, he was unable to respond to basic queries in real life. It is impossible to avoid the awkward stage. That phase where your thinking seems slow, your accent is strange, and your phrases are jumbled. Everybody experiences it. However, you remain trapped if you refrain from talking only to feel at ease. You must begin using your voice on a daily basis in order to escape that trap. It is like going to the gym when you speak. You cannot merely watch training videos if you want to get stronger. You must move. English is no different. Thinking about it will not help you become more fluent. Even if you just talk for 5 minutes a day, you still need to talk. No, a companion is not necessary. You may converse with yourself. Give it a try. Tell them what you are doing in the morning. My teeth are being brushed. I am putting on my clothes. I am brewing tea. Talk about your day later. I contributed to this project. It was challenging. However, I am proud. Do not complicate things. However, say it aloud. Reflecting for 2 minutes is another excellent habit. Talk about an event that occurred at the end of the day. It might be dull. Not important. What matters is that your mouth becomes accustomed to creating English phrases without becoming frozen. You will get faster the more times you do this. It is not about having flawless speech. The goal is to normalize speaking. Now, you most likely hesitate when it is your moment to talk. Let us make that right. Do you know what many students do? They practice. When someone asks you a question, your brain begins crafting the ideal response rather than responding organically. You consider proper verb tenses, syntax, and possibly even accent. And the moment is gone by the time you are prepared to speak. This is something I used to do constantly. As I was mentally creating a script, I would freeze when I heard a question. However, there is no time for that in genuine interactions. Not flawless lines, but fast reactions are what you need. So, how is that trained? Practice quick, succinct answers. Consider often asked questions such as what did you do today? Or what food is your favorite? Put a timer on. Let yourself respond aloud for 5 seconds. Not flawless, but quick. Your brain is being trained to talk without waiting. It feels more natural the more you do this. Even if your responses are not perfect, they begin to flow. And that is the objective. Perfect grammar is not a prerequisite for true fluency. When the time comes, it is about having the ability to say anything. And converting listening practice into speaking practice is one of the best methods to improve your speed. To practice this, you do not need a language partner or specialized equipment. All you need is an English language TV program, podcast, or video. After a sentence, select a brief clip and press pause. Then respond with a statement. Do not simply say it again. Just say what you would say. Add your ideas. Pose a query. Leave a comment. Even if the other person is on screen, treat it like a real discussion. Saying, "I had a great weekend," is one example. "Hold on. Really, you ask then? What did you do?" Or "Me, too. I visited a park." It is not required to be flawless. Say anything, please, quickly. You are practicing sentence formation and improving your reaction time without any pressure. It is straightforward but really beneficial. You will eventually quit frozen and begin talking. Speaking of talks, even if you are single, let us pretend to have one. One of my favorite methods, particularly for learning alone, is this one. You extract an authentic dialogue from a podcast or video. You then say both portions. Indeed, both. You mimic their words. Then pretend to be a part of it by making up a response. Imagine you are witnessing a scene and someone asks, "Hey, how are you?" You say that aloud. Then you respond like you are, which is rather good. You. And continue. It need not be identical to the original dialogue. The goal is to continue conversing while alternating roles. Although it seems odd at first, it is a pleasant method of teaching your brain to follow the flow of a discussion. You begin to learn basic expressions, sentence structures, and the normal peaks and valleys of speech. Make use of basic phrases you are already familiar with. "I do not know," "let me ponder," or things like that are interesting. These are also very helpful in the actual world. Do not worry if it still seems awkward. All your brain needs is more conversational thinking practice. Speaking aloud while feigning to be in actual settings rather than just your imagination is one technique to improve your speaking abilities. Choose a straightforward scenario, such as placing an order at a cafe, checking into a hotel, or attending a job interview. Then take on both responsibilities. You both pose and respond to the question. It is not strange. It functions. The types of things individuals say in certain situations become ingrained in your brain. You can reply, "Sure, what size?" after saying, "Hey, I would like a coffee, please." Make hand movements, alter your voice, and grin as you talk. You sound more real because of all those small details. I used to walk by myself and do this. It is likely that others assumed I was talking to myself, and I was. However, it was beneficial. These little scenes speed up your brain. In order to keep you from freezing during actual talks, they help you get ready for them. Word practice is not all you are doing. Your reactions are being trained. And keep in mind that if you remain mute in order to prevent making a mistake, none of this will work. Let us be truthful. Making mistakes is uncomfortable. The word you use is incorrect. Your grammar is incorrect. You might be corrected by someone. Even worse, you believe they are evaluating you without speaking. You may remain silent for years because of that dread. Here's the problem, though. To get there, everyone who talks fluently had to make a lot of blunders. An acquaintance of mine spoke English with numerous grammatical faults. He did not care, though. He continued to speak. He was understood by others. And he quickly got better since he talked so much. Not by being flawless. Just by not feeling scared. Those who wait for their English to improve frequently never do. As they do not use it. Grammar books and study applications are what they are hiding behind. Change your objective. Do not strive for excellence. Make an effort to be understood. That is all. You have accomplished if someone understands what you are saying. And it does not matter if you make a mistake. The majority of people will understand or ask you to repeat. Connecting via speech is more important than passing an exam. Therefore, allow yourself to make mistakes. You are improving each time you do. Additionally, your brain begins to process your thoughts more quickly the more you talk. Here's a simple yet effective solution. Choose a subject and talk about it for a minute. Do not stop. Do not translate. Simply leave. Talk and set a timer. It may seem impossible at first. You may ramble or lose your train of thought in the middle. It is all right. Continue despite the chaos. Discuss your weekend plans, your favorite food, and the current items on your desk. Begin with simple tasks. Then attempt more difficult ones. Explain a news article. Describe your viewpoint. Discuss a pastime you enjoy. Your brain is trained to talk without pausing to overthink by completing these 1-minute tasks. They increase confidence and fluency. Do this each day. A minute becomes 2. 2 leads into lengthy discussions. There is a twist now. What if you could become more fluent without using any words? Speaking aloud is not the only way to practice speaking. Retelling something in English in your head is one of the simplest things you can do. After hearing a tale or seeing a video, take a moment to repeat it in your own words. However, do it in English in your mind. It is not important to use sophisticated terminology. Do not complicate things. Just reflect if you watched a pasta-making video. He brought water to a boil. He seasoned it. He spent 10 minutes cooking the pasta. That is all. You do not have to interpret in your mother tongue. Your brain becomes more adept at creating sentences on its own the more you attempt to think in English. When you are unable to talk out, this is an excellent method to practice. Simply let your mind to reread the story in English when you are on a bus, standing in line, or even performing chores. Your inner voice is being trained to speak English first. You will notice that your spoken English feels less forced and more natural once that becomes a habit. The mirror can also be helpful when you are ready to speak your inner ideas aloud. It may seem absurd, but talking to a mirror actually works. It facilitates your practice of confident and clear speech. Additionally, you get to see how you appear while you speak, which is more important than you may realize. Talk about anything while standing in front of the mirror. Your plans, your day, and a humorous incident that occurred. As you speak, pay attention to your face. Are you able to express yourself? Are your eyes moving? Are your hands being used? It takes more than simply words to be fluent. The way you say those words matters. Even a brilliant sentence can seem uncomfortable if the speaker has a monotone voice and a flat expression. However, adding a smile or some movement makes your English come to life. Act as though you are giving a speech or conversing with a buddy. Experiment with various feelings. Get giddy. Be taken aback. Take it seriously. This makes your speech much more engaging and helps you sound more authentic. However, what if you still experience anxiety before speaking? Let us transform that emotion into something strong. Your mouth becomes dry, your palms start to perspire, and your heart begins to race. That is what occurs before to speaking English, correct? It has the feel of nerves and fear. Here's something interesting, though. When you are thrilled, your body reacts in the same way. What you tell yourself about that sensation is the only thing that differs. Excitation and nervousness have the same sensation. Saying I am excited rather than I am scared is the trick. Say, I am ready, the next time you are going to speak. Let us get this done. No, what if I make a mistake? What if I say something amazing, though? That minor adjustment can have a significant impact. Try this as well if your body still feels strained. Breathe deeply. 4 seconds in. Wait until 7 o'clock. It is out for 8. Repeat that a few times. It helps you relax and think more clearly. Additionally, you can stand tall, shake your arms, or stretch. Your body posture communicates emotions to your brain. If you project confidence, you will begin to feel it as well. Additionally, you will want to make your English sound even more natural once you have gained confidence. Many students believe that in order to appear fluent, they must speak quickly. However, the objective is not to speak rapidly. In actuality, it frequently makes you more difficult to comprehend. Rhythm is what truly gives you a natural sound. And intonation and pause are the sources of that. Native speakers take their time when speaking. In between thoughts, they halt. They accentuate a word, ask questions, or express emotion using their voice. It fluctuates in tone. Because of this, English sounds natural rather than artificial. Reading brief sentences aloud will help you get better at this. Include organic pauses. Try to explain that, although I truly want to learn English, I occasionally run into difficulties. The beat will be immediately apparent to you. You are doing more than just honing your pronunciation. You are getting better at sounding human. Speaking quickly is not necessary to sound good. You must speak intelligibly. Furthermore, a few strategically placed pauses can accomplish more than 10 clever words. Let us tie everything together now with a schedule you can follow. You can enhance your skills in just 5 minutes a day, not an hour. Put in 5 minutes that will truly make you want to talk. Give a brief description of your surroundings to begin. Look around and talk. The fan is running. The window is open. I am seated at my workstation. There is no pressure. Simply speak. Next, engage in role-playing for a minute. Choose a scenario and play it out. Placing a food order. Requesting directions. If you want, do both sides. Then echoing for a minute. Look for a brief video. Just after the speaker, repeat it. Complement their tempo and tone. After that, talk about anything at random for a minute. Go ahead and set a timer. Do not stop. Do not overthink things. Just talk. Wrap up with a minute of self-talk. Keep an eye on yourself. Make use of your face and talk with sincerity. That is all. 5 minutes. Actual advancement. Each day. And here are some things to keep in mind if you ever want to give up. Speaking English is not a skill that comes naturally. It is not a magical ability. It is a talent. And doing, not just knowing, is the source of talents. It is not necessary to have flawless grammar. There is no need to wait for the ideal time. Everything you need to begin speaking is already in your possession. Now. Using the language you are familiar with. With your voice. You are improving every time you speak, even for just a minute. Your mind learns something new from every error you make. Fluency is developed in this way. Gradually. Aloud. Not in your mind. I sincerely appreciate you viewing. I hope the video today has given you the self-assurance and useful skills you need to end the stillness and begin speaking English freely and organically. Keep in mind that speaking is a skill, not a secret. It does not matter whether you are initially shy or if your grammar is not flawless. The secret is to work on your voice, practice, and progressively strengthen your speaking abilities. Today, we discussed several effective tactics. You can use shadowing, role-play scenarios, describe your surroundings, and even speak to yourself in the mirror. The first steps toward fluency are tiny, regular activities. What is the best part? Hours of time and a partner are not necessary. Over time, even 5 minutes a day can have a significant impact. Remember to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you found it useful. That way, you will always have more advice and motivation to aid you along your English learning path. Additionally, activate the notification bell. In this manner, you will be informed as soon as the new video is released. Never forget that growth is not about being flawless. It is about being there, making an effort, and acknowledging each small victory. The term bad speaker does not exist. Every day you are improving, learning, and developing. Once again, I appreciate you being here with me today. Continue honing your skills, have faith in your own abilities, and never give up. See you in the upcoming video. Happy learning, and be careful.